Question number 61. How do you manage contracts with strict milestone deadlines? Some clients will have some of the milestones are very critical, so you cannot bypass them. Even though you have a schedule, you might have a baseline, you are tracking it on a daily basis. However, some milestones could not be missed and you cannot afford to miss it. So at those times, you have to sit with the project control team or planning team and break down that milestone into smaller milestones and keep them tracking even on daily basis. If there are any impacts, immediate notices has to go. This usually happens if there are any shutdown schedules interfacing with your project. That will be very critical. The damage of the shutdown will be higher than your project value. So no contractor can take a call or afford to manage that delay. So that's why this usually happens in oil and gas fields when there are shutdowns. Question number 62. How do you control unauthorized site inspection? The first one is educate the site team about the claims and about how the project gets affected when a variation or a site inspection enters without permission. Second, teach them to record it and send them immediately as soon as possible from the site. I'm trying to get that in writing. If not possible, you record it instead of getting writing from the client. For example, a client is given a site instruction, but it's a verbal one. But you have to record it saying that we got a verbal instruction so and so. So we are proceeding based on that, and this will have a time and cost impact. Very simple. Email is enough. Question number 63. How do you evaluate the commercial impact of design changes? See, whenever there is a design change, you have to see two things. Whether the existing design, what is the cost for the existing design, and what is the cost you have to quantify for the change in design, and any additional procurement or additional construction methodologies required for the additional design change. So you have to evaluate the change. So you have to see what is the difference in the old design and the new design. If the commercial impact is high, you have to go with the positive variation. If the commercial impact is low, you have to go with the negative variation. So this has to be prepared with the help of all stakeholders, because a contracts manager will not have knowledge on design, will not have a full knowledge on the quantification also. Sometimes it may be outsourced. You have to get that from a subcontractor. So your work is to educate the contractual knowledge to them and get them coordinated, and then submit the variation or the commercial impact for the design changes. Question number 64. How do you manage cost overruns in a running project? So this is a very, very important question. To control something or to manage something, you should be keenly monitoring it. To monitoring something, you should have data availability to monitor it. To monitor it on real-time basis, you need data on real-time. See, if, we used to say that if you already see only a monthly progress report on a cost control, you are just doing a post-mortem on the dead body. So you have to manage it on daily basis. If you are not managing it on daily basis, then you are going to be in trouble. So professionally, you have to answer it like this. I identify the cost drivers and compare them with the budget baselines. I track variations, reworks, and delay closely. I hold coordination meetings to address the problem areas, the concerns. I report cost overruns promptly to the management. Corrective actions are implemented to protect margins. Usually, you get the support of the finance managers to do this. Question number 65. How do you maintain transparency in contract dealings? Transparency is very important. And transparency should not reveal all the information to all the stakeholders, because there is a protocol to maintain. Certain information has to go to certain, for example, commercial information shall not go to technical teams. So there will be an existing protocol in the system always. So I keep all communications in writing and accessible. I share relevant information with the stakeholders promptly. I avoid hidden terms, side agreements, or verbal deals with the client or the subcontractor directly. So try to document everything and keep it transparency. That builds trust and avoids any unethical issues. How do you assess the impact of slow approvals from authorities? Again, once it comes to controlling or to monitoring the approvals, you should have a clear-cut track of what are the approvals has to come from the clients before proceeding and which of them are critical, and you should keep tracking it. What is the date we should receive those approvals and what is the date that we are still waiting, not yet received, and that delays has to be recorded promptly, because this delay will go as an input for the EOT or risk analysis. Even though some of the permits are not being compensable delays, but the approvals that are directly under the control of the employer will be under the compensable delays. So these documents will act as an evidence for the EOTs and will support contractors to escape from the LDs or penalties. Question number 67. How do you prepare for a major contract review meeting? This usually happens either immediately before submission of the tender or before the kickoff meeting or along with the kickoff meeting. So I gather updated data on the progress, claims and risks. I prepare a concise summary with key issues and solutions. This feels like you are having a major contract review meeting after the execution of the project, maybe at a period of 40-50%. I review all correspondence and open actions. I align with internal teams before the meeting. Preparation ensures clarity and stronger negotiation. So you have to go prepare. Please don't go, okay, we know everything, we are a contracts manager. You know that among all the people there, you know better contracts than other stakeholders. But still you have to prepare yourself and improvise yourself to deliver it in a better way. Question number 68. How do you maintain control over project documentation? The project documentation doesn't directly comes under contracts management. They comes under project management. And project management has a direct control over the documentations other than the deliverables that are directly from the contract department. For such as letters, contractual letters are going to be under the direct control of the contract department, and emails are going to be with this. But other than that, drawings, deliverables, logs, RFIs, schedules. So mostly document control and planning maintains the major evidences. And that has to be educated right from the beginning that these are evidences and that has to be prepared very, very keen. You don't know when your email became an evidence in a tribunal. It may, after 4 or 5 years, your casual email that you sent will be a major evidence in the court or the tribunal. So better be clear, very concise while drafting an email. Question number 69. How do you manage dependency delays caused by other contractors? So this is a very peculiar delay. When multiple contractors are working in a single project, you might be depending on other contractor to complete an activity for you to start the activity. So it might be in finished start logic with some other contractor, and you don't have any control over them. And if any delay by that contractor will definitely have an impact on your start date. So these things has to be recorded that we have not received the site access or the site clearance from the other contractor on so and so date, and that is having an impact on our time as well as the cost. So, and please note that the delay by the other contractor is a compensable delay, because for us it will be considered as a delay by the employer, because me as a contractor has an agreement with the employer and the employer has an agreement with the other contractor. there is no any direct agreement between the contractor 1 and the contractor. So in such cases, this contractor 1 affected by the contractor 2 has to be compensated by the delays by the contractor 2 to the contractor. It's up to the employer whether he recovers as an LD from the contractor 2 and gives to contractor 1, or he just gives from his pocket. But this is eligible for the additional cost. Question number 70. How do you mitigate risk when the client insists on strict LD classes? The client is very strict on the LD. Okay, we are submitting an EOT, we are proving that there is a delay from both the sides and there are concurrent delays. And even at that time, you are not able to prove that you cannot escape from LD. Then what do you do? So you can say that we have taken mitigation actions and you can prove prevention principles. That we tried doing that, but the delays due to previous stakeholders or previous contractors made us to delay further, which is not under our control. But if still it is in your control, how you will negotiate for a reduction of LDs. So you have to highlight the external dependencies that affected the schedule. And we have to negotiate or push for fair float ownership. Then their aim is to equitable risk allocation without harming the contractor's viability. So this is how you can bring in different layers of negotiation to bring down the effect of liquidated damages when you visibly, it is very clear that it is on you. Thanks a lot. We will continue this series. We have still 30 more questions and we'll try to finish in 3 more videos. Thank you.